everyone. Hello, hello. Hey, you've made a great decision. You are here. You are here to learn about Envase BI, visualizing your data. So taking an amazing amount of information that you have, making it more efficient for you and your team, adding to that customer experience to make sure that you are giving the best to them and that your team has everything they need in their hands. So that's what we're going to talk about. I'm joined by Anthony Hopkins, our BI data engineer. Hello, Anthony. Good to have you with us. In just a minute, he's going to walk us through some of the technology we have here, some of the integrations you're going to see, and some of what's available for you. So we look forward to you checking all this out. We're happy to have you here. You'll notice here using Zoom, we have the chat function, we have the Q&A. Please ask any questions that you may like. You have a professional here. Anthony knows his stuff. He wants to help you and answer questions that you have. So what is Envase BI? Why don't we start at the beginning of what this is? It's an incredible tool that allows you access to your data in so many different ways, makes it more visible to you, organizes it, and as you can see here, there's things like leverages it, help you find insights that you might not have noticed before. If it's just a long spreadsheet, information might get lost. But if we can see things laid out, colored, arrayed, organized, it can really help us understand exactly what we're seeing and make actionable movements on it. Add to that, and we can customize it, build it just for your business to make sure you're getting the most efficiency out of it. So that's what we're here to talk about. Look at some of these dashboards, see what's available. Again, I want to introduce Anthony Hopkins. Anthony, how you doing today?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Excellent. I'm going to remove that. Go ahead, Anthony. Why don't you share your screen and you can walk us through what you're seeing here and teach us a few things.
Cool. So primarily for this little webinar we're having today, I wanted to discuss one of the newest additions we've made to Envase BI, which is the QuickBooks integration. So we've enlisted the use of a third-party tool known as QODBC to make extractions from your QuickBooks file that you'd have hosted on your TMS server. And then we functionally extract that data and we load it into these visualizations. So at present, the offering currently involves profitability, an AR analysis, and an invoice dashboard, as well as the addition of company driver profitability and a high-level financial balance sheet assessment. For the purpose of this demonstration, we have fake data. Obviously, we're not going to use one of our customers' data financials in a demonstration. So things like margins may not make so much sense. We're working on creating a more functional demo data set, but the functionality still rings clear. So what you're looking at here is profitability. So on the left-hand side, you have a summary of your margins and the data coming out of, in this case, it's a VI customer. So you're seeing the amount, cost, and load count and the average days to pay coming out of VI, as well as details associated with that customer, and a bit more of a in-depth analysis on transaction and transaction dates. As with all of Envase BI visuals, you can see at the upper portion of the banner that we have there, we have the Envase logo, the name of the dashboard, and of course, we really do tend to offer filter capability, so that way you have a lot of power over your data for the most part. There's one visualization in this edition that doesn't really carry a lot of filters, but we found out that it wasn't totally necessary, but you'll see that. So this is at least just a demonstration of profitability. I'm going to move on to invoice. Yeah. So one thing I do want to mention about these visuals is that generally when people hear the phrase QuickBooks integration, they think to themselves like, oh, that means it's going to be an exact synthesis of the TMS data with the financial data. While that is true, it doesn't necessarily mean we will always have overlapping data involved in every single dashboard. It might be a VI specific analysis or a QuickBooks specific analysis. What we're really seeking to offer you with this edition is a one-stop shop for you to evaluate your finances and what's going on in your TMS and be able to compare them side by side. And of course, some visuals in this edition are going to have synthesized data sets, but some of them may be isolated from one another. And if there are any questions about that, I'm happy to explain. So here is the invoice dashboard. You can see there's a general summary with your QuickBooks amount, your TMS amount of cost or revenue, and then the difference between the two of them. And you can see it's broken down by invoice number, your customer ID, and the invoice date. So if you're looking for any discrepancies between the TMS and your books, you'll be able to see that here. There's an in-depth evaluation of that on the right-hand side of the details panel that breaks everything down by the operation description. So you have your chassis rental, chassis split, etc. Beneath that, there are two panels that are specific to each of the applications, one being the TMS with BI and the other one being QuickBooks specific analysis as well. In the previous panel, in the previous dashboard, we talked about filter capability. That's still here. Some of the filters for the purpose of demonstration has been deactivated because it didn't play well with the fake data. We're also still working through that. I did want to show, we actually recently did complete the high-level balance sheet assessment. It's under review by one of our consultants, but I do have the mock-up, and I did just want to show everyone who's going to be here, at least today, that what we're trying to offer you. We can't show you what we developed so far because we're using customer data to do the analysis internally. But for the purpose of this demonstration, you can see what our goals are. So here's company driver profitability. Our goal is to allow you to look at just the general evaluation of your margins by driver. And then we're going to highlight the lowest margins on the right-hand side of that in the dashboard with some basic details below. Additionally, we are looking to offer you the high-level balance sheet assessment, which is kind of a comprehensive analysis of your accounts receivable and your accounts payable in conjunction with the general cash balance on the right-hand side. This is something we've recently completed. Once again, you'll be seeing it very soon, but for the purpose of this demo, we didn't have clean data to use, and we're not going to expose client data. So without further ado, I guess we can move into questions. Kevin, if people are ready, I can talk about more if you'd like me to.
Hey, no, that's excellent. Thank you very much for giving us a really nice overview. I appreciate it. It's good to be able to see exactly what we're talking about, see that visualization aspect of it. We do have a few questions. So again, audience, please, now's your chance. Go ahead and type some of those in. I wanted to share a little bit about, you can see on the screen here what Anthony touched on, what those offerings are. AR, invoice, profitability, available now. Very exciting, this high level and the company drivers was touched on. All that will begin onboarding next month, very soon. So now is an opportunity. If this is something you've been waiting for, you've heard us mention this, say this is coming soon. Well, guess what? We're just about there and ready in just a few short weeks. So now is the time to start talking with your account manager about setting this up as we get ready to share this widely with you next month. So excellent. So any questions at all, you can use that Q&A. That's an excellent way to do it. Here's one. Anthony, is the QB integration with BI included in the package, or is there an additional charge?
That's a really good question. The QB integration is not included with your original package. It is an additional charge. Okay. Chloe, she is on. So is it okay if I go in depth about the pricing? Has that been sussed out?
I think we should hold off for now, but okay. I can say that it's going to be very accessible, and I think if you're using QuickBooks and you're using Envase BI, it'll be a no-brainer.
Excellent.
There you have it.
Chloe Helling, by the way, from our product team. Thank you very much for joining us, Chloe, as well. Yeah, here's another question for you. So tell us, how does this integration really work between the two? Yeah, great question. So the way it works for those folks curious about, what we're going to have access to, we're working with a third-party tool known as QODBC. They've done a pretty great job of helping individuals extract SQL or table level data from your QuickBooks file. So we will have access to your QuickBooks file on the server where your TMS is installed, and we will make an extraction of the tables necessary for the visuals. We'll then deposit those tables in our secure data warehouse that we're partnered with Snowflake, the company, on. And then we connect your Tableau site to those tables on Snowflake. We are also we're doing a read-only access into your QuickBooks file. So we will not be doing any sort of writing to your QuickBooks file. We'll be making no adjustments there. It's strictly to extract the data out. We're not going to do anything to your file itself. Excellent, excellent. Any other questions, folks here? I'm going to bring up the questions here. And by the way, there's my contact information, Kevin McCahill here, Director of Customer Success. Always happy to answer any questions at all that you might have. Another question here. Is this for just desktop? Do you be desktop or online as well?
That's another good question. So we are able to offer this for both QuickBooks Desktop and QuickBooks Online customers. We know a lot of folks, at least on the VI side of things, are using QuickBooks Desktop, and we're particularly excited about that because we're also able to, transition what is a desktop-oriented solution with a cloud-based approach. So that's something we're particularly excited about, but we do support both.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that. A question here from Ben. Will the data be updated in real time or still once per 24-hour period?
So as of right now, we're doing it on a once per 24-hour period, but going forward in the coming quarters and years, we'll be able to discuss on a per client basis if we can offer something that's a bit more speedy, but for now it is once a day.
Got it. Excellent. Another question here. Can the QB integration include other data points from the general ledger, such as different accounts that are cost accounts related to operation expenses that aren't entered into a TMS?
Yeah, so anything that your QuickBooks file contains, we have access to so long as QODBC is able to convert that information into tabular data that we can manipulate. I suspect we'd be able to work with you on a customer per customer basis. Similar to the previous, Envase BI offerings, this is going to be, a standard set of QuickBooks-oriented dashboards. But if you have something in particular you're curious about developing, you have a specific report or something you'd like to have integrated into your VI data, as always, you can reach out to us through Salesforce and we can start negotiating about some sort of custom report. But there is quite an abundant amount of tables available through QODBC, so I suspect we'd be able to support you. We'd have to do a deeper analysis to know for sure. And I think I saw the frequency question, which we did answer, which is once per day.
Yep, excellent. All right, any other questions, folks? Well, keep in mind, we've recorded this. This will go online. This will be available to be viewed over and over as many times as you like. And again, my contact information is there. Kevin McCahill.
We have another question.
EnvaseTechnologies.com. Well, here's another one. Thank you. Can Envase be available to build out reports on our behalf? We have the capacity now to request, or can they be built out for a charge? Tell us about that.
Yeah, so exactly. This is a great build off of the last question from Chris Johnson. We can build reports for you, and it will be at the similar rate that we've been offering previously. And I think this ties in nicely. Like I said, if there are other data, like Chris said, if there are other data points you want to get access to, we're able to look into those tables and see what we can build for you. But certainly we can build them at a charge.
Excellent questions. And again, if you think of more as you watch this, as you think throughout the day, by all means, reach out to myself, to your account manager, ask more. We're happy to talk more about what is capable and what will work best for you and your business. And we are here to make sure that you succeed as well. So I think we covered them all right there. Anthony, thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you.
And thank you to everyone in attendance. Appreciate it very much. We'll record this. We'll make sure it's up and available for your viewing pleasure later. We hope you all have a great rest of the day. Thank you all so much for your time.
Thanks.
Thank you, Anthony. Nice job.
Thanks. Have a good one.
You too.